it is. Wednesday for me is a grand thing again because, as I may have told you earlier, I've put in for FMLA, which means I'm now taking Saturdays off because of anxiety, blood pressure, diabetes, you name it. So they've got plenty of extra people now, so they'll live without me. But it's like, it's kind of sad though that so many people now are so obsessed with money. When you get to my age, you're going to realize time is the most important thing in the universe. You don't get time back. You don't get repaid. You don't get a refund. You don't get a rebate. And after you've been doing the same thing for a number of years, your brain wants to implode. But hey, what can you do? Oh. But I did scan around this morning. There's nobody talking about anything that, remotely resembles facts. All we have is hearsay, speculation, and non-stop rambling. And of course, you have the nardy, the drunkard, and everybody else who's practically masturbating in delight that, that's pretty much, in their minds to show, Doctor Who's been canceled. Here's the thing. Here's the facts. We don't have word one way or the other, or one way or the other, sorry. We don't have any confirmation of anything, and I think that's the way they're leaving it. And I keep trying to remind everybody, and forgive me if I sound like a broken record, but if there had been a renewal, we'd have heard about it a long time ago. All right. Who's Ace Creeper mocking now? John who? All right, which John is he mocking? Okay, why is he making fun of John Barrowman? Well, once again, yeah, here's the thing I gotta say, I'm sorry, as much as I liked Ace Creeper, if he's mocking John Barrowman, then he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Um, wow, these what do you call it? These trolls are asking funnier and funnier questions. I'm sorry, I'd show you if I was circumcised or not, but I'd be quickly banned from the internet. You'll have to come to my OnlyFans page. Well, the thing is, all right, now I'm going to say it because of just the fact he's mocking John Ass Cracker, who used to be up so far up some of the management's ass. He was getting invited on the sets, and then he was trying to play it off like, he it's no big deal. Let me see. He shows up to the one series premiere telling everybody he's on the red carpet. Yeah, he was on the red carpet. And it was supposed to be an event where people got tickets and they showed up. And it was for the opening of Jodie's first season, if I remember correctly. And suddenly he's in the building and he's watching the premiere. It's like that right there tells me that, somebody is kissing ass or somebody knows somebody, in the industry. And it's funny, though, how in that era ended, how many doors got slammed. So the thing is, no one should be mocking John Barrowman because if it weren't for John Barrowman, there wouldn't be a Torchwood. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was on set, and there's no way you snuck on set. Somebody had him on set, which means somebody, you know, was, giving him favors that other fans did not get. I've met John Barrowman, and I don't know why everybody talks bad about the guy. Here's the thing. One of the things, my dad may not have been the Einstein of his generation, but he was a damn, wise fella. And one of the things he taught us kids was how to see, smell, and basically hear bullshit at 50 yards. And I can tell you right now, 99% of the celebrities I've ever met, I can look them in the eye and say, look, they're genuinely happy to be here, and they're genuinely interested in meeting, and being there for the fans. John Barrowman is one of those people who definitely, is there for the fans. And like I said, I've only had one or two encounters in my years of doing the celebrity thing that, like I said, they were just there for the money, and it was dead obvious. They just looked right through you. I was hoping to give Jenna that test, but like I said, she canceled out on the con she was supposed to go to. Because I wanted to find out, if what people were telling me and all that was true for myself. But of course, she, her and her team collected the non-refundable deposit and never showed up like they do to a lot of smaller cons, from what I've heard. Like I said, I'd have to go fact check that, but I know one particular con this happened to a couple times. Yeah, John, like I said, John was handed a raw deal. He was thrown under the bus when Noel Clark was the one who was, like I said, allegedly hitting on people and, shall we say, trying to take advantage of interns or whatever. I have to go back and check all that nonsense because I forgot about a lot of it. But the saddest part about the thing going on in Texas with the flooding, and I'm not a political person, I really don't give a shit who's in the White House, because it's the same old song and dance no matter who winds up sitting in the big seat. And it's, people are blaming the president for the children who died in the flood. I'm like, folks, I'm not a Trump supporter. I've never been a Trump supporter. But blaming the president for those, deaths of children due to a natural disaster is like blaming my grandma for all the craters on the moon. All right, it just, there's no relation whatsoever. Oh yeah, Katie and John did they did a big finish together. The Green Life, one of them, I think the first ones they did was the Green Life, where he shows up representing Torchwood, and of course Joe Grant's there. Well, Joe Jones at that point is there, and they meet up. Yeah, because they've met doing Big Finish. It just, makes me mad that John's being put through this grinder, especially by kids who aren't even old enough to probably grow hair on their balls. And, and the incident probably happened before this kid was even born. Well, no one's going to have a go at Katie. Oh, they know better. For one, Katie's a ball of living, loving energy that you do not attack, okay? I am excited for the Running Man movie. I saw the trailer, and it seems to be based more off the book than that first movie was, the Schwarzenegger vehicle, as we'll call it. I actually saw people in the comment section of the one trailer video. This doesn't look nothing like the original movie. And I'm like, dude, if you're complaining that this doesn't look like the Schwarzenegger movie, go read the damn book. Okay. Oh, I got hugs and a kiss on the cheek for her. She's just amazing. She's a ball of positivity, Katie Manning. Just love personified, I'd have to say. Okay. Yeah, that's what ticks me off, is the fact that he's being put through the grinder for something he apologized for over a decade ago. and never did since that point. In a room full of adults, they're acting like he tamped that naked through a kindergarten class or something, and that's not what happened. He was on set at a TV studio. Well, she was just being friendly. Yeah, he apologized years ago for that. They're going on and on about something that he did, and he apologized for, and then now he's apologizing for it again and again and again. It's just, it's like they're trying to crucify the guy over somebody. People saw his wiener, yeah, and they didn't complain about seeing his wiener until years later, and then he had already apologized for the incident when it happened. I'm glad I'm holding a phone. This lady beside me, I think, we thought I was like going schizophrenic or something. Okay, exactly. That's what I can't stand about sometimes the ages we're going through now. It used to be, you know, people were more mature, grown up, and accepted, things for what they were and didn't take it as some grand insult. And now everything's offensive. You crack a fart in public and oh God, you've committed violence against me. Oh my God. Whatever happened to sticks and stones break my bones, but names would never hurt me? But now it's sticks and stones may break my bones, but if you don't agree with my point of view, you're committing violence upon me. Where the hell is this being taught? That words are now violence. I don't know about you, but if any of my teachers heard that nonsense, they'd walk up, slap the damn professor stupid, and say, that was violence. It just drives me insane. I like that. They were going on the news the other day about something Rosie O'Donnell said, and I'm like, she's still alive? I had no idea. How many bodies you got, Gramps? Well, I'm not going to say. Okay, all I can say is this. As much as I try to be respectful of Ace Creeper and the gang, that just right there is just low blow territory. If he's mocking John and all that for not being invited to a Torchwood event, then he has no idea what the hell he's talking about and should just stick his head in a bag. Mister, I did a whole live cast sitting there in my pants with a mirror deliberately aimed to show my underwear. Yeah, like he's on, solid moral ground. I do not know any of the facts on how that happened. I just know that he was there, then he was in the lobby taking pictures with Chibs and some of the other folks, and then, of course, he saw the premiere. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, how many other fans paid money or fought their ass off to get just to get to the red carpet, yet for some reason you magically made it inside. And then all of a sudden you magically made it on the set. That tells me that there's either some major ass kissing going on, or he was tied to somebody who had connections. But either way, I hope it was a joke. I truly do. Because nobody should be mocking John. John, like I said, apologized for this years ago. And without him, there was no Torchwood. There would have been no Torchwood. Therefore, he should be invited to a Torchwood event. Now, maybe he's getting confused with Hee Haw. I remember that show. Oh, well, I just looked at the time. I got to start walking inside because, like I said, I am further from the door than I would normally be. So take care, everyone. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Don't take it too hard, Ace. I'm just mocking you. Besides, he don't care. Nobody cares anyway. It's not like I'm a major threat to their flow of people or anything. So take care, everyone. Be kind, be calm, be safe. And we'll hopefully catch you all tomorrow morning. Good day, folks.